CQ, the Old Friends Net. 1864 KC's Old Friends Net meets every night at 8 o'clock here on 1864. This is N4LQ. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina. N4LQ is listening for check-ins.
WB4NKF.
W4JPL.
Oh, who was the last station?
W4GHV.
Okay, give me that slow and phonetically so I can get it. I'm having a little trouble here.
Whiskey 4 Golf Hotel Victor. Whiskey 4 Golf Hotel Victor.
Golf something Victor.
Hotel.
Hotel? Okay. Wow. I got a little bit of line noise or something, but you're a little bit on the weak side there. W4GHV. I got WB4NKL, W4JPL, and W4GHV. And we'll get you in here in just a minute. Anybody else? Okay, let's see here. Oh, I know you. Yeah, W4GHB, Bo. Yeah, I've met you several times at Charlotte Hamfest. Good evening to you. I'm glad you can make it in. I hope we can hear you okay. So, Cliff, go ahead and make a transmission, and I sent you a picture of my new toroid filter choke. Hope you like it.
It looks good, Steve. Have I got enough audio or two? What's it sound like?
Let me listen to it again. I didn't get a chance to listen.
All right, this is a different rig here, and I had a different mic and all kinds of stuff different, so it's not the gates.
Yeah, it's a little thin compared to the DX100. It doesn't have much lows, and I don't know, different mic or a different, what is it, a different transmitter?
Yeah, this is the LMAC AF68, and I'm running a D104 that I put one of those elements like Dan had in it. And it's got one of those adjustable preamps, bass and treble controls. I turned the bass up just a little bit. So, just testing it out. Looks like I'm running about 25 watts, and it's sure different tonight than it was last night. Go ahead, this WB4NKF.
Yes, sir, it is. But it's better. Don't have all that static that we had last night. Well, I don't think you're quite hitting 100% modulation, and there's a little bit of hum in there. I guess that's kind of typical. I doubt if that's an AF68 though, isn't that a 67?
No, this is a 68. I took that 6th position and I took a magic marker, put a 1 in front of it and a 0 after it.
Oh, it's good to know. That's all you got to do to get 160. If you'll hang on a minute, I'll get my magic marker out and do mine the same way. All right, that's very interesting. Well, go ahead and finish her up and turn it over to JPL, and then John, turn it over to W4 Golf Henry Victor. His name is Bo.
Okay, Steve. Good deal. I'll have to try a different mic. Like I say, experiment with mics. Experiment with friends. According to the REL, it's hitting 100% plus on the positive side, about 100% on the negative. So I don't know, it might just be this microphone. Go ahead, John, W4JPL, WB4NKL, you can copy 25 watts.
WB4NKL and the group W4JPL. I copy you fine, Cliff. I hope you're doing all right today. Another crazy busy day. The fun never ends here in Looneyville. So I pretty much finished up all my stuff and had to do a few things outside the house. And boy, we had rain and more rain. Little stream behind my house is usually about 2 inches deep and about a foot and a half wide. Yesterday it was a couple feet deep and 10 feet wide, and it was going. I tried to listen to you boys last night, but the static was like 60 over, so I couldn't hear Steve even. I can usually hear him anytime, but it was just too much, so I just turned it off. I do not copy the next fella, N4GHV. He probably doesn't hear me either, but I'll turn him over to anyway. And Cliff, I wonder if you got a Terry report next time around. N4GHV, W4JPL.
This is W4GHC. Good evening. I've got a high SWR, so doing pretty well. But anyhow, I went to mortgage with Amplitude a long time ago. Bought a radio for there. So I went to his museum when he lived down here in Charlotte. So you might tell us where did you move to the museum, or did you take it to a roof on the place, or did you still live in I don't have a whole lot. I'm almost 7610 and doing some computing here, so I thought I'd stay out here. W4, and I didn't write down your call list, Steve. W4GHV.
No. Okay, I guess I got it. Yeah, okay, bro. W4 GHV. Got most of that. It's a little bit tough copy, but it is good to have you on here. And it's been a long time. We moved out here to Shelby. It's been 5 years since we moved, so don't know. I think maybe I've been back to the Charlotte Hamfest since then, but it's a long drive now. So we're 40 miles west of Charlotte, and then of course that Hamfest is on over there in what is that? Cabarrus. Yeah. Anyway, so that's another 20 miles or something. So anyhow, John, coming through pretty good. I got my noise reduction lined up here and got most of the noise taken out. You're coming through okay, so no problem. And the weather left us with a very soggy yard and some extra ruts in the woods over there from all that deluge, and my new ditch that I dug to divert the water away from the trees so it didn't uproot them worked out. And there's a mess in the driveway of sticks and pine needles and all that. I'll try to get out there tomorrow with the blower and get rid of that stuff. It really made a mess. And I think we're getting another rain coming up Friday. Pretty close to an inch. So let's see what, if anybody else wants to check in. This is N4LQ. I don't hear anybody. All right. So, Cliff, sounds like you're playing around with some pretty neat stuff there. And I talked to Dan a while ago on 75 meters about that microphone, and I told him what we thought it was a crystal mic. So, anyway, it sounds pretty much like a D104, I believe. WB4NKL, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4NKL. I put a different D104 on. Does that sound any different, Steve?
Yeah, you sound more like the old Cliff now.
Okay, yeah, I was experimenting with that cartridge like Dan had. It's got one of those tone control amplifiers in it, so I could probably play around with it, maybe get it sounding better. Yeah, this AF68, there's a couple coils in there. I figured I would never use 6 meters, so I pulled out the 6 meter coils and wound a toroid for the tank coil for 160, and changed out the driver coil. I robbed that out of a AF67. So it seems to work. Seems to be working. John, the last thing I heard was through Brannon said that Terry had drank 3 milkshakes. I guess that was yesterday, and was wanting to get out of there. So that's the latest I've heard. I haven't heard anything else today. W4JPL is WB4NKL.
Okay. WB4NKL, W4JPL. Okay. Thank you for the report. That's got really nice audio. That transmitter you got there, Cliff. Nice and crisp. Sounds okay to me, for whatever it's worth. Fine business. Yeah, like I said, the noise last night was brutal. That's the only word I could put it. And I was looking at that line of thunderstorms, and they're still out there, but they're way up the coast now, and they're way out to sea now, probably a couple hundred miles. But there's that whole line, so I guess maybe might get hit by that. Who knows? And yeah, it's supposed to rain again on Saturday, but I think it's only supposed to be a little bit here anyway. I'm just checking that right now as we speak. And I'm running a 7610. If anybody's having problems hearing me, I could fire up the amplifier and put out a little bit more juice. Partly cloudy in the morning and becoming cloudy with periods of rain later in the day. Thunderstorm possible. So no crazy wind, no crazy amounts of rain. N4GHV, W4JPL.
Hey, very good, thank you. It's fun, yeah, I have a 7610 too. I started to call you guys out on being slightly off frequency. That's just then I got pictures of your radio. I realized it seems to be off frequency. My question to Steve was, how about your museum? Did you take your museum together? And I'm sorry, in the middle of something. I just thought the repairs was coming down. I called the radio. I said, I always think down all the way. So they should be the simulation. A lot of the audio was real good.
Okay, Bo, W4W. Hey, John, W4JHP. Got a suggestion, and you may have already done it, but I've got a 7610, and others do too. And one thing that you've got to do on AM is get into the tone control and turn the treble all the way up. I think it goes to 5. At least put it on 4, and 5 is better, and turn the bass down a notch, because that will give you a little bit more bandwidth. I basically cannot understand what you're saying. I think maybe I could if you would try that. Did you copy that over?
Copy what?
What I just said. Okay, all right. Well, maybe you can try that. And you followed what I'm saying, I guess, right?
No. I was fiddling with my wrist to get you get in on that. You off frequency.
Yeah, your audio is just really muffled and just doesn't have any highs in it. And I'm just suggesting you go into the menu, into the tone control, and turn the treble, it's bass and treble, go to AM mode, turn the treble all the way up. You copy that?
Your voice is down muffled. I have a hard time with my muffled sound.
I didn't copy that. Did anybody?
Yeah, he says you're muffled, Steve. I don't know what's going on there. I can copy him pretty good, but he needs a little more treble in the audio. If you can go into the menu and turn it up, Bo.
Oh, okay. I got that.
I've been copying you pretty good the last two transmissions. Before that, I had trouble on your first transmission. But yeah, if you get in the menu and turn your treble up a little bit, it probably helps the signal out a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure. Steve has had one, so he could probably talk you through it, or maybe John. I think that's what John's running, maybe.
Yeah, I can talk you through it real easy, but he said he can't understand me, so he's got troubles on both ends, Cliff.
Okay, I got 12 over -1.
Oh, that's part of the problem. So turn the treble up to like 5.
Oh, you'll have to show you.
I mean, this is transmit, not receive. That's what I'm talking about. Transmit treble. I hear you, Mayor. Got you. Yeah, well, lost them. Are you still with me there, W4GHV? I don't. Cliff, how are you able to hear him?
I'm hearing him pretty good. I mean, he's down a lot lower signal, but are you in the AM side of it? I think there's different menus for AM, Bo, and on transmit audio on the AM side is what you need to be adjusting. You might just be changing it on sideband. World of difference. Yeah, he sounds pretty good. Did you copy him better, Steve?
Negative. I can't hardly hear him.
Steve's having trouble copying you for some reason. I did to begin with. The band must be improving between me and you, Bo. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you improved it on AM here.
Okay.
He said, go ahead, Steve.
Okay. All right, guys. And Bo, sorry that I just can't understand anything you're saying. I'm not sure what the problem is. And some kind of weird band conditions, I suppose. Either that or my ears are going bad. 73s, keep playing with it and come back as soon as you can. We're here every night at 8 o'clock. Go ahead, Mirror, WF2U, N4LQ.
Steve, W4KR, what's going on here?
Good evening, Steve, and whoever else is here. I haven't heard so much fun and pure around this frequency ever, I think. It's just full of stuff now. I don't know if it's propagation or people just decided to crowd around here. You are strong, Steve, and if it was Cliff, it was a little bit weaker, but sometimes was stepped on by the quad from the side. Anyway, Using the Kenwood transceiver, those marine transceiver. Yeah, putting out 150 watt speed. Yeah, about 125 on peak on AM. So back to you there, Steve. And 4LQ WFQ.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a diverse bunch tonight, don't we? Going from Cliff is running an LMAC AF68 that he's modified for 160, but disabling the 6-meter band and rewiring it. What a job, huh? I don't think I'll do that. I'll just use the AF67. And I'm on the Valiant tonight. And I guess I'm off frequency. I had to switch to
upper sideband to hear you, Mir, because synchronous AM was just jumping all over the place. It's unusual. Only that one rig, I think it was the JRC, worked right when I tried to receive synchronous AM. So it sounds okay on upper sideband, a little tinny, but it's okay. Certainly not a 7300, but I don't want to say that. Anyway, I just looked at the forecast. They're talking about 0.65 inches of rain for Friday, and they're usually pretty close these days. So we'll count on that. And I've been hearing a lot about cold temperatures. It looks like Tuesday night will be the cold 17 degrees here. So that's we got that to look forward to. WB4 NKL. I heard Stan. Don't let me forget that. Let's go ahead and pick Stan up, then give it back to me. W4KR N4LQ.
Good evening, Steve. W4 N4KR. Geez, I don't know what's going on either. N4LQ W4KR. Good evening. I don't know what's going on here. Weird conditions. And Mir was kind of in and out, more out than in. And the guys up in Tennessee, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, go ahead, Steve. You're about 30 over 9. You're good, and everybody else is kind of so-so. And 4LQ W4KR.
All right, yeah, you got the signal. Sound beautiful. I was going to say we got a real diverse bunch here tonight. We got RAS boxes and boat radios and modified LMAX and Valiants, and I don't know what are you running, Stan?
I'm running the Valiant tonight.
Okay, well at least we got two normal radios. All right, now Cliff, go ahead and take it. Let's see, it goes from Cliff to John to let's see, Bo is gone to Mir, and then to Stan, then back to me. Go ahead, John.
You go ahead, Cliff.
I mean Cliff.
It's WB4 NKL. Okay, yeah, I had a pretty good copy on Bo over there. I did it the first time before he purchased his audio. He got the audio straightened out, Steve. It sounded a lot better there on flash transmissions. So, but he wasn't copying you either, so it's just a bad clash between you and him for some reason. Stan, we're sounding pretty good. It's running 25 watts out of an LMAC AF68 here. So I'm not running as much power as usual. But it seems to be working out. Steve, that's not too bad of a job. I'd say you could add the coils, and you can do it in less than an hour. Mostly just changing, unhooking stuff off that 6-meter position and jumping them over to the 75-meter position. Cut the coils and replace them with the coils that you left the line around the toroid plate line network choke. So Wouldn't be too bad, you know, if somebody wants to do it. It'll be less than an hour. Go ahead, John. W4 JPL, WB4NKL.
Alrighty, WB4NKL, W4 JPL. Got a little QRM going on here with adjacent channel. I guess sidebanders tonight. It's not so bad. And hello to Mir, hello to Stan. Hope you guys can copy. Yeah, I'm on the rice box. As soon as I can, I'll get that National 303 on the bench and check it out, clean it up, recap it if necessary, and get her on the air so I can run my van on 160. That's the plan anyway, and I'm sticking to it. Over to you, Mir, W4 JPL. Good evening.
Good evening, John. And good evening again. And conditions are very strange. There is, as I said before, I haven't heard so much crud and QRM around this frequency. I don't think ever. We've been using it. It's just full of signals all around, and there's increasing in here. And sometimes it's hard to copy the recent stations as copy your 100%. Steve and Stan are relatively strong, and Chris also, although sometimes takes the nose drive with USB. I'm using the Kenwood PKM 707 Marine radio, and yeah, that's upper sideband, and let's see, putting down at the almost 70 watt carrier, and speaking, it's a non-peak reading meter, so the needle goes up sometimes. I can see about 120 watts with modulation. Well, anyway, so that's the story. I don't know who he spoke to, so I'll give it back to you, Steve. 14LQ, WF3.
Well. Okay, goes to Mr. Stan, who is the strongest one tonight. Well, I think Cliff is running like 40 watts on 160, which is quite a feat to be able to reach all the way to Shelby on 40 watts and on a modified LMAC AF68. I copied some of that. Some of it I did, some of it I didn't. But, Boone would probably be mad at you because he's always bragging about how good the AF68 is on 6 meters and how well it tunes and all that. And here you ripped it out and put in 160. Oh, well. Anyway, I just I can't really envision where I'd put a coil that big in that thing. That's the trouble they had in the AF67. They couldn't find enough room for the coil, and they put in this real fine wound thing, and kind of hard to, it doesn't survive very well. I fooling around with mine AF68, and there's a spot when you're tuning the grid and watching the grid meter, you can see sort of a dip in at one point. Well, that dip, that thing puts out a bunch of garbage, and it garbles my audio, puts out a hum and all that. It was so bad that even Dan commented on it tonight, and I can tune off of that and my grid current will go up too high. So, it still needs a level control on the grid current. And here I am taking all this time from Stan. Go ahead, Stan. W4KR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve. N4LQ, W4KR. Well, I'll talk to you in a minute. I'll talk a little bit about LMAX and 160 meters. There's a funny story attached to that. goes way back. Steve, first of all, how much power you get? How much carrier power you get out of your out of the Valiant here on 160?
Well, let's see. Right now, 113, and I'm running about. It says 380 mils, something like that. I can go up a little higher too. Let's see. I can probably. There's 121. All right, there's 122 watts. But was that any help?
Yeah, it was a curiosity question, not a signal strength question. Because I'm running. Let me see what I'm doing here. Mirror, it would be nice if you'd listen to what's going on sometime. It would be helpful. Don't mean to be picky, but always seems to be a question of what's going on. Okay, I'm at about 320. I just didn't push it any further than that, and it's 100 and about 110 watts. Okay, I was curious. I would think that we get more out of these things. I wonder. I won't kick it back to you yet, Steve. But I wonder if are you running regular 6146s or Bs? This thing has Bs in it, and I'm not sure about that. But anyway, LMAX. Their original transmitter was an A54. The A54 did not have 160 meters in it. And the fellas, there was a lot of 160 activity, both mobile and fixed, around the Detroit area. The east side of Detroit people used 1806, and that's where I lived. On the west side of Detroit, they used 1820, and we kept banging at the technicians and engineers at LMAC that hey, get 160 in that thing. So they finally did when it got to the 67. They by hook or by crook got 160 meters in it. And then the 68 came along and 160 went away again. So they weren't, they didn't see the need for it because none of those guys out there, all those guys were 20-meter people that worked up there in the park, and they weren't low banders. So it was anyway. That's the way it worked. It sounds like the weather's going to get colder. Ouch. It peaked out. I think we peaked out about 43 today. And 4LQ W4KR.
Okay, W4KR in 4LQ. Yeah, I got an A54 that I believe I got from Cliff, and I have used it on the net a few times, but not on 160, of course. It's a real odd duck, and it didn't, 160 is not that big a deal, but there's no 40 meters on it. So it goes from 75 and then 20 and 15 and 10, I believe. That's about it. That's really strange. No 40 meters. But it's got one band on the band switch that's marked X. And you look in the book and it says something about that can be converted to 40 meters. I don't know. Somebody told me one time that rig was released before it was ready for the market. And then I don't think it was on the market for very long until they took it off and came out with a 67. And it was kind of odd too, with the with the the mode switch on the back. That's a handy thing. AM, PM, or FM, AM, FM, and CW mode switch on the back. Who would have thought? And they actually labeled it. Wasn't that nice of them? But anyhow, that's the way it goes. It's just odd, and I like them both, really, for some reason. They don't take up much room on the desk, and the power supply fits down underneath really, really good. So anyway, you asked me about the tubes. There is a mixture of. I took all the 6146s I could dig up in the basement, and I put the three that had the highest gain on the tube tester, and I think one of them is a B. The rest of them are A's. Maybe one of them might be a regular. So, about 100. I can get 125 to 130 up on 75 meters, but that's about it. I don't know. I think Cliff said he could get more, and it seems like I had one value one time that would do like 140 or 50. Maybe I'm just dreaming, or maybe it was my inaccurate watt meter. One I got now is pretty accurate, I think. So there you go. WB4NKL, N4LQ.
Yeah, N4LQ, it's WB4NKL. Switched over to the Globe King in case anybody's having trouble copying. That LMAC, I can put it back on 6 meters in about 15 minutes, Steve. I just removed 2 coils and it'd be easy to put back. And you could do it, you could take 15 or 20 out and do the same thing. And I did experiment with the toroid Pi Network coil, so that would be a good fix for one of those AF67s if the coil's bad. Take a T130-2 core is what I had, and about 50 turns, and you could tap it for 80 meters and replace that spindly looking thing that's in the 67, and it's small. The toroid is actually smaller than the coil they've got in there, so I think that would work fine. I might try that. I've got one here, the coil's all mashed up, and I might try that. Get the taps down and everything to the right place. But can you copy better now? Go ahead, John. W4JPL's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL in the group, W4JPL. Yeah, I hear you all kinds of good now, Cliff. I heard you good before. You were fine before. This is just a lot gooder. So I don't have a whole lot to add, so I'm just going to pass it right along. Go ahead, Mir, W4JPL.
WF2U, it's your turn.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just brought some of the and cooking the video. Now the signals are coming up, but there's still a little bit of flood on the side. Cliff, we were pretty strong, and John, I heard you much better. Your signal came up too. And well, turned out that I didn't go herding this morning because the sheep area was full of mud from the rain, and my coach said it's a real mess, like a mud bath. So I don't know. I'm waiting for word tomorrow morning, because tomorrow's a little bit better, or have to stay home. I did a little bit of stuff. I managed to find my used cash. I have several values of fuses in a box, and I was looking for it on the other end of the radio room here. The check turns out that it's in the drawer, one of the drawers of the desk that right now I'm sitting in. But that was the last place I looked for it, and so I found the half-amp fuse. I put it back in the DX100, and if I'm home tomorrow morning, I'll try to put and tune up the DX100B so it will be ready for Sunday. And have a little bit more power. So pure and purest AM with a boat anchor. With a bigger boat anchor, not a canoe anchor like the AF67. So that's what I was doing. Then I made a cable, a power cable for the Luna marine transceiver, because I was trying it before, just after I got it clip lead. So now I have the cable, but there is still a problem with the microphone. I don't know why. Let me go all the way down to the microphone connector on the front panel and inject some audio. I sent my audio generator here. It's a nice little military surplus one, solid state. And I'll inject some signal and then see what's going on. I hope it's not the microphone preamplifier in the radio that is not working. So the signal is not going through, but I already took it apart, so I know how to get to that board. Anyway, so that's the big stories of today.
Steve, let me know when he turns it over. He's going out.
And it's going to be a little bit chilly tomorrow. So, Steve,
I'll send you an email.
Back to you then. N4LQ. Or does it go to Stan? I'm not sure. About whoever it is.
He's not sure.
It is WFD.
All right, it's Stan's turn.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Steve. N4LQW4KR. The Globe King, the Globe King is getting it done. Cliff made quite a difference. What is going on here? Oh, I know what it is. The cabinet. The cabinet's vibrating a little bit. I don't have the screws in it. I've got to. I was adjusting the modulator resting current, and with this one has the mod in it with the two pots over on the right side panel, but no, the person who did it didn't drill the holes in the panel, so I had to keep popping it back and forth. But next time I take the cabinet off, it's going to end up with a couple of little holes in it. Let's see, what else do I know? I wonder. I'll ask that question at the end. We had quite good turnout on the SAMRC net last night. I think we had 29 people checked in from anywhere from Pittsburgh to Southwest Florida and west out to Oklahoma. We're getting with this winter we seem to be getting trees in the checked in up Pennsylvania way, and most of the guys are running power. So even though there was a little bit of static last night, yesterday morning 75 was terrible, but by evening time this static had blown out of here. I guess it ended up in New England, but we weren't too bad. I was dreading having to do that net, but it turned out to be pretty good. I've got the REA modulation monitor on here, and right now it's just a hair under 100% negative, and peaking at about 110, 115 positive percentage-wise. So we'll leave it alone with that. I'm gonna the audio section's original. I'm gonna broaden out the bandwidth just a little bit, change the interstate transformer. That transformer came today. I'm at a 124B. I'm gonna stick that in here. That ought to clean up the audio a little bit, Steve. Get it out of the 300 to 3,000 range. The mic I'm using on the thing is the D104, and that doesn't help a whole lot. Anyway, I'll hang around for one more, and then I'm gonna trot upstairs, as I promised Joan I'd come up by 9 o'clock. She wants to see what Trump's going to sound like out there in Iowa. Boy, I'm glad we're not having an election here next week. It's sure going to be, I guess it's going to be nigh on to near zero out in Iowa next week. Ought to do something to that caucus or election thing that they have out there. N4LQ and a gang, W4KR.
All right, W4KR, N4LQ. Well, I'm showing peaking about 103% positive and 98% on the negative side. And I could probably push it a little more, but that's good enough. Let's see. And I did flip I tried both ways on the plate leads of the modulators and picked the best one. Gave me the most positive modulation. It sounds like you got yours doing pretty good. If you got that much positive, you're doing good. And the vibrating cabinet. Yeah, if you don't have those long screws tightened up, it'll do that. I did mine, but I still was getting a pretty good thump when I gave it the push to talk. So I laid a couple of heavy door stops on top, made out of steel. It's pretty well taken care of it. But I smelled something here a while ago. Smelled like something burning, and I suspect it's the Valiant because there's nothing else in here. I don't see any smoke. It just smells hot. So I set my little desk fan up against it and turned it on, and that cools her right down. Poor thing needs a fan, really. It's still got the 3B28s in it, so I think, or did I take those out? I lost track. And this thing came to me broken. The guy that I bought it from told me he couldn't get the bias adjusted. It didn't work, and both the pots were bad. Somebody had put real crummy looking pots in there and didn't have them hooked up right. I guess they had modified it, or maybe they just replaced them or something. It looks like the Valiants, they started out with that stupid sliding tap resistor, that variable resistor, and those things are a pain in the neck. And so I got rid of that on the last one I had. I got rid of that, put the pots in, and this one came with the pots already in it, but they were open. So I got new pots, put them in, and they're a lot higher wattage than what Johnson calls for anyway. I think they're 5-watt pots, and they're smaller physically. I'm not sure how they did manage that. All right, let's see. Okay, on the toroid, yeah, the toroid deal. That might work. It might be more efficient too, Cliff. I may look into doing that. FT 130-2. I guess it's an FT. I think you said an F, but is it an FT? That's a ferrite mix, I guess. No, wait a minute. That's a powdered iron, isn't it? I have to look into that one. Let's see. And the King does sound 10 times better. I mean, just huge difference in signal strength. And mirror your upper sideband. Yeah, I will be glad when you get that DX60 on here, because that upper sideband stuff, what I've got to do is I have to switch to the upper sideband mode and open up the bandwidth, and then I'm picking up these other guys up the band. I got to do that to catch all your audio, otherwise I can't understand you. So if you were on lower sideband, then it would be okay, I think, but not upper sideband. So yeah, I'll really be really glad when you get that Heathkit going. And well, let's see, what else have I got? SMARC, glad that went well, and so forth. So goes back to Cliff. WB4 NKL, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4 NKL. Okay, good all the way around. I think I copied everybody that go around. The Valiants are sounding good, Steve's and Stan's. I might have to, I've got a Valiant 2 over here that I got going here a while back. I haven't had it on 160 yet, so I might have to experiment with that maybe tomorrow or one day this week. Get it on 160. I think I had, I put some 6293s. I had a round of those. I put in mine. Seemed like I'm getting about 140 watts out. That was a T130-2, Steve, just a T. I guess that's iron. I'm not sure. Anyway, I ordered a kit one time of ferrite cores, and that was one that was in the kit. That's got the red paint, and it's in the frequency range according to the chart. There's a good winding program on the internet. I looked it up. I knew about how many microhenries I wanted, and it told you you plug in what core you're going to use and what inductance you want, and it tells you how many turns to put on it. Ended up about 50 turns on that T130-2 core to get 36 microhenries. And I'm sure you could tap that down, for the 80 meters on the AF67. And it'd take up a lot of space, a lot less space than that transformer, that coil I got in there. I guess I'll get out on this one and head on in. It's getting colder tonight. Got my heat pump's been running continuous here, so I think I'm gonna cut that back and head on into the house for tonight. Might have to try the basement shack out in the morning. So 73s for tonight. Go ahead, John. W4 JPLs, WB4 NKL.
Okay, WB4 NKL in the group, W4 JPL. Well, Cliff, maybe what you need to do next is take that train and put on 160 rather than 75. That'd be a project. Well, put it on 75 was a project, wasn't it? Okay, we'll find business. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into some radio projects as soon as I get done with all this house nonsense. So I've had about all the fun I can stand with this stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here, fellas. Maggie's been wanting to talk to me, so I got to go see what my wifey wants, and you know the deal: happy wife, happy life. So 73, God bless. Hopefully catch you guys in the morning. Go ahead, Mir, W4 JPL.
Yeah, 73, John, take care. Your signal was holding up, nothing was strong, but the QRM was not bad. So take care. I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow. 73, have a good night. And anyway, well, Steve, regarding the upper sideband with the false carrier, I don't have the option here to change sidebands while I'm on AM. The upper sideband by default, it looks like it's really a convention, because also military radios that have AME, they all work on upper sideband, even if they have lower sideband as well. But on AME they are all upper sideband, and it's the same with these marine radios. The only one that I can switch is the SGC transceiver, the SG2000. I can switch when I'm on AM. I can switch between upper and lower sideband. But anyway, I can do that. I think you got the heat kit. You said DX60. No, it's the DX100B that I used a lot on the old FrenchNet. And I used to go almost exclusively before I got that Jesus setup from that estate that I got. And that was my my old FrenchNet radio, the DX100B. It blew that fuse when I was not aware that my antenna was broken. The old Carolina Winden, and I tried to load it, and then the fuse popped. So it should be okay, because now I have the end-fed 80 meters antenna. So it's the antenna tuner there is already tuned up, because I used it both with the heat kit little twins, the little mobile rigs, and also the AF67. So it should be working just fine, I believe. And first I'll load it into a dummy load, make sure that it works. And this weekend I hope I'll get to take some stuff off the desk here, just in case I have to bring down the AL1200 into the desk to work on it. I'll turn it on and I'll observe if still there is any crackling going on, and if there is anything going on. If I see, actually I want to do it in the dark, see if I can see any sparks or something. Anyway, actually I want to hit the sack a little bit earlier tonight, so I might as well just bail out now, just at the end of the round. So I'll say 73 to Chris, but still listening. John, if he's still listening, so good night, Stan. Good night, Steve. I made a recording of I think 8 minutes, and of the Kenwood, and that's it. So we'll leave on it. Take care. M4LQ, this is WRC 76.
Yep, 73 there. Have a good night, and hope you can get some of those projects done this weekend. Stan, W4KR, think you're still here, right? Well, okay, you got the floor.
Okay, Steve. N4LQW4KR. Okay, John, good night to you. As the evening went on, your signal started coming up. Right when I first checked in, it was pretty hard copy, but you're picking up. You were picking up as the evening went along. Cliff, good night to you. To catch you, I'll get on in the morning and see what's going on up there on 75. Steve, this one has 3B28s in it. Also, I have some 1 and 2637, and I think that would raise the plate voltage a little bit. I think the 3B28s drop about cost you about 75 volts, something like that. That'd be a little bit more. Anyway, we'll see. Good night, guys, and take care. Mir, it would be nice if the problem is those sideband guys and you on upper sideband. As Steve said, if that puppy would work on lower sideband, that'd make all the difference in the world. But anyway, enough for tonight. Take care. We'll see everybody tomorrow. N4LQ and the gang, W4KR. Good night.
Okay, Stan. Well, I have read that 3B28s don't have any more drop on them than solid state, but I'm not sure that is correct. But I've heard it doesn't make much difference. I don't know. I think there's less drop on a 3B28 than a 866, and those come with all kinds of problems. That's the first thing you got to do is take those things out and throw them in the trash. Horrible too. Anyway, I think you might get a couple of more volts. I don't know, but I think of course nobody's going to be able to tell the difference in 10 or 15 watts anyway. And I've got the spiking one here that I can run also on 160, and I don't think you can tell much difference. It's about 90 watts out. That's about all I can get out of it. I think it might help to get a new 4D32 tube, maybe. I don't know. But anyhow, we'll talk to you later. Appreciate you coming by tonight and putting up with all the weak signals and the fading and all that. But it's been monumental, interesting night, hearing all the different pieces of equipment, the marine radios and boat anchors and the rice boxes, you name it, we got it. We'll see you all tomorrow, 73. This is N4LQ, shutting down the old friends net. Good night.
Okay, Steve, I put the I've got my Bird 43 sitting on top of the cabinet, and that's not heavy enough to quell the howls.
Not heavy enough to do what?
Not heavy enough to keep the growls out of the cabinet.
No, I tell you, that cabinet. Well, part of the problem is the strong magnetic field around the power transformer and the modulation transformer, and I put a screwdriver next to the plate transformer and hit the key, and bang, it slammed that screwdriver against it, and that was actually pulling the cabinet in when you transmit. That's part of the problem. You can take the cabinet off and all that noise goes away. So it's, I don't know, it needs a shield over it. And that's one advantage Heathkit has. The DX100 uses those potted transformers, and that helped.
You know, those Heathkit guys really knew what they were doing. They were a knock-on good crew of engineers out there.
You look at the construction quality; it's first class. I mean, That DX100, I think, was like a pinnacle of Heathkit, and of course the Apache is well built too, except for they dropped 160, and I frown upon that one.
Yeah. Same here. Alrighty, take care. We'll see you tomorrow. I've got to pull the front panel. The vernier dial on the VFO needs to be relubed, and I know how to do that. I've done that with the Ranger, but that becomes a whole day job. Pull the front panel and take the front of the VFO apart, relube it, and I've done that twice. I had to do that with my original Viking Ranger 1, and then with the Ranger 2, and now I get to do it again. The one in the 500 was okay. I never had to do that one. Anyway, always something. It sounds like that'll be a weekend project because I've got to replace the coax connector on the back part of the insulation is broken on inside, and the connection's just a little bit on the shaky side, so I got to take it apart. Problem is this was a factory unit, so I gotta drill the pop rivets out of there. Anyway, hey, take care. See you in the morning. N4LQ W4KR.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I tell you, us boat anchor vintage equipment enthusiasts are a rugged bunch, aren't we? We're gluttons for punishment, but we actually have fun doing it, and we get to talk about all of our conquest. All right, we'll see you. 73 N4LQ, clear.
Good night.